The Whispering Tree. The story of Grandpa Mateo and the tree that never gave up. Chapter 1. The Village and the Tree. In the heart of a quiet village, surrounded by fields of golden wheat and soft hills that looked like sleeping giants, lived an old man named Mateo. Everyone knew him as Grandpa Mateo. His little wooden house stood at the edge of the village, where the dirt path ended and the wild woods began. But what made Grandpa Mateo's home truly special wasn't the flower garden or the smell of cinnamon that drifted from his kitchen. It was the giant tree that grew beside his house. Its bark was thick and textured like puzzle pieces. Its branches twisted upward, like arms reaching for heaven, and its roots crawled across the earth like ancient fingers. The children of the village called it the Whispering Tree. Some said it could talk. Others believed it granted wishes if you whispered into its bark. No matter what people believed, one thing was certain. The tree had stood there for as long as anyone could remember, and it had a peaceful kind of magic about it. Every evening, just before sunset, the children would run from their homes to gather on Grandpa Mateo's porch. They sat on cushions, stairs, and sometimes even the grass, all waiting for a new story. Grandpa Mateo had a voice like warm soup. It made your heart feel safe. But there was one story he never told. Chapter 2. Luna's Question. One evening in late summer, when the sky glowed pink and the fireflies had just begun to twinkle, a little girl named Luna climbed up into Grandpa Mateo's lap. She had curly hair, bright eyes, and a heart full of questions. That night, her question wasn't about dragons or treasure or faraway lands. It was real. Abuelito, she asked, what's the most important thing you've ever learned in your whole life? The other children stopped giggling. They leaned in, curious. Grandpa Mateo blinked, smiled, and looked toward the tree. A soft breeze rustled its leaves as if it had been waiting for this very moment. Well, he began slowly. That story starts with someone you wouldn't recognize. A boy who was very different from the man I am today. Chapter 3. A Boy with a Storm Inside. When I was your age, he said, I wasn't wise or calm or kind. I was angry, really angry. My father had died in a terrible accident. My mother worked 3 jobs just so we could eat. I didn't have toys. I didn't have friends. I had a heart full of questions and no one to answer them. I started pushing people away. I argued. I broke things. But one day, my anger turned to cruelty. The children listened in stunned silence. There was a tiny sapling growing near our old house, he continued. Just a baby tree, no taller than me. One day, when my anger felt too big for my chest, I stormed outside with a rock in my hand, and I threw it. Hard. I broke one of the branches. Then I kicked the trunk. I tore off the leaves. I even carved a word into the bark with a pocket knife. Useless. Luna gasped. A little boy's eyes filled with tears. Yes, Grandpa Mateo nodded gently. I hurt the tree. But I was really hurting myself. And do you know what the tree did? He smiled and looked around. It stood. And it grew. Chapter 4. The Tree That Chose Peace. The next morning, I expected the tree to be dead. But there it was, bending in the breeze, letting the morning sun kiss its broken branches. Not angry, not bitter, just alive, still trying. Every day after that, I watched it. Through rain, Through snow, through heat and cold, it grew, slowly, quietly, but with strength. I started sitting beside it. I stopped shouting. I began to listen. I'd tell the tree my worries, and though it never spoke, I felt heard. The cuts I made on the bark began to fade. New branches grew where the old ones had snapped, and one day I realized something. He looked down at Luna. That tree didn't heal out of anger. It healed with love. It didn't grow by fighting the wind. It grew by dancing with it. Chapter 5. A Life Beneath the Leaves. Grandpa Mateo's eyes softened. "I met your grandmother under that tree," he said. "She was drawing it in her sketchbook. I said it was my favorite tree, and she smiled and said, 'Mine too.' That was our beginning. Years later, I brought your mother, just a little baby then, to play under its branches. She learned to walk on those roots. When we were sad, we sat beneath it. When we were happy, we sang there. When people needed comfort, they came to lean against its trunk." He pointed at the roots. "Do you see how the tree wraps itself around the earth? It holds on even when the ground shakes. And when you listen, truly listen, the wind in its branches sounds like whispers of hope." Chapter 6. The Choice. "Life won't always be fair," he said softly. "People will hurt you. Life will confuse you. Sometimes it will feel like the world is against you. And when that happens, you will have a choice." He looked at each child in the eye. "You can become like the storm, or you can become like the tree." The wind blew gently through the leaves above them, as if the tree itself was agreeing. Luna leaned her head on his chest. Another child placed a hand on the trunk. The others followed, one by one, in silence. That night, no one told silly jokes. No one ran home shouting. They walked slowly, feeling older, wiser, and the whispering tree stood tall in the starlight, its leaves singing their quiet song, and its roots holding the earth like a secret. Moral of the story: you can't always control what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond. Grow through what you go through. Be the tree.